Salam sejahtera, bersama saya Serina Manikama dalam Bisnes Awani dan kita bersiaran secara langsung dari Pusat Konvensyen Antarabangsa Persada Johor Bahru di mana berlangsungnya WIEF edisi ke-8. Dan untuk memulakan Bisnes Awani jam ini, kita mulakan dengan laporan mengenai Comoros yang mempelawa pelabur Malaysia menanam modal di negara itu, khususnya dalam sektor pelancongan dan juga tenaga. Negara ketiga terkecil Afrika mengikut kawasan itu turut berminat menandatangani perjanjian dua hala dengan negara-negara yang mahu melabur di negara itu. Bersempena dengan Forum Ekonomi Islam Dunia ke-8 di Johor Bahru, Presiden Comoros Dr. Ikililo Donine mengadakan sidang media bagi mewawarkan peluang pelaburan di negara itu dan juga insentif yang ditawarkan. Menurut Dr. Donine, setakat ini pelabur asing terbesar di negara itu ialah Qatar dalam sektor perikanan. Comoros juga merancang untuk membangunkan sistem keuangan Islam negara itu dalam usaha untuk menghasilkan sistem keuangan yang kukuh. Tahun lepas, pertumbuhan Comoros sebanyak 2% dipacu ekspor peladangan dan permintaan akhir swasta disokong oleh penghantaran pulang wang oleh pendatang. Dan seterusnya, isteri Sultan Johor, Raja Zari Sofia Almarhum Sultan Idris sudi mencemar duli menghadiri WIEF 2012 sebagai panelis di dalam sesi bertajuk Cabaran dan Peluang dalam Menjayakan Perusahaan Sosial. Semasa sesi terbabit, Raja Zari Sofia berkongsi pengalamannya sebagai salah seorang sukarelawan Persatuan Bulan Sapit Merah.
Pada sesi terbabit, Raja Zari Sofia turut berkongsi pengalaman mengurus bencana, antaranya bencana banjir di Johor pada 2006. Turut disentuh ialah soal pengurusan badan amal.
I think it's knowing that I can make a difference to just one child or just one family, that's good enough. We have, I think all of us, when we want to do charity work or we want to do some good in this world, we always think we'd like to save the whole world, and of course that's not possible. So we try to do the best we can with the Grameen Bank, which Mr. Muhammad Yunus started. He's thinking specifically of the area where he grew up in and which he's used to. And of course, when we think about tsunamis and hurricanes and thunderstorms, we would like to help, and the drought in Africa and so on. But I think we always have to start small and start with what we have around us. Be aware of the local problems that we have, because local problems in Malaysia might not be the same in another country.
Pada sesi terbabit, Baginda turut memaklumkan mengenai penumbuhan Zari Sofia bagi penyelidikan Islam di Universiti Philadelphia.
I think you'd agree with me that there is a great need for an understanding of Islam, and that if you see that how we are here, we're not aggressive people, we're not doing anything bad, and we're just listening to each other, and we can laugh, and we all have the same concerns. We're all worried about poverty, we all want to try and make the world a better place. So I'm hoping that this global center in American University can bring across those ideas that we're not such a bad lot after all.
Mengenai soal pendidikan pula, Baginda berpendapat lebih banyak pusat latihan vokasional perlu didirikan dan tidak hanya tertumpu kepada pewujudan universiti. Jelas Baginda, pusat latihan vokasional memberikan peluang kepada anak-anak muda yang tidak berminat dalam bidang akademik untuk terlibat dalam bidang kemahiran. Sesi perkenaan berlangsung selama 45 minit.
Sesi Forum Wanita hari ini turut membincangkan topik menarik bertajuk memupuk minat wanita dalam teknologi dan mengatasi halangan. Dan untuk berbincang lebih lanjut mengenai topik ini, bersama saya adalah Dr. Telle Whitney, Presiden yang juga Ketua Pegawai Eksekutif Anita Borg Institute for Women and Technology. Well, hello Doctor, it's a pleasure
to be here.
Right. Doctor, let's talk about the level of involvement among women in technological related industries among the Islamic nations?
Well, I think that more women need to be part of the technology revolution, which is one of the reasons that I'm here. There is strong interest, but I think that we do need to increase it. I think that the percentage of women in STEM in Malaysia is close to 50%, but it depends a lot on the disciplines.
But however, what are the obstacles faced by these women? Because you somehow think that the involvement among women could be increased, which means that there are some bottlenecks or challenges that they have to get through in order to be in that industry.
Well, I think that first of all, the percentage of women that enter the field varies from country to country. In the United States, it's about 18% in computer science and engineering. But what happens is that there's not very many at the highest levels of government or technology. So there's a lot of leakage as they move from going to school to becoming a leader within technology, which is what I'm all about.
And what sort of ecosystem do you need in order to breed more entrepreneurs or people who are involved in this technological industry, Doctor?
Well, I think that there's a couple of things. First and foremost, women, especially young women, need role models. They need to see that it's possible. So in the Islamic world, I think it's really important to have key role models that women can look up to. The second is connection. I do think that finding other women who can support you as you're making those really difficult decisions along your career. And then the last is advancement, learning the best ways to advance and to develop the skills that you need to be successful.
And having that said, even with the right skills, you still need the infrastructure to support this sort of involvement. How do you see the infrastructure in Islamic nations? Is it enough to encourage such participants?
Well, today we talked a lot about entrepreneurship, and I think that there is a lot that we can do. First of all, you need a mentorship program. You need to have access to successful entrepreneurs, but then you also have to have access to capital. Without the ability to fund new entrepreneurial enterprises, you will not be successful. So those are two key things that I think you can do.
And you mentioned earlier that the interest among participants are high and they're really interested in joining the industry, technological related industry. But if you look at that, and also if you compare it to these organizations, what's the level of readiness to accept women into the organization?
Well, I run an organization that addresses that, and I think that first of all, the perception of women's role within technology is changing, but we still have a long way to go. I think that the barriers one of the key barriers is breaking that perception that women are great at innovation. And once again, I think that one of the easy ways is to show the role models, show women who are very successful.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Telle, and it looks like that's all the time we have for this session. And again, thank you and a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
Dan itu sebentar tadi adalah Dr. Telle Whitney, Presiden dan juga CEO bagi Anita Borg Institute for Women and Technology.